Do you ever feel frustrated or depressed about everything going on in the world today? Do you feel hopeless like I do? And like there's nothing you can do? I mean, there's just seems to be this sense of, I don't think malaise is the right word, but just of hopelessness is probably it that's just infiltrated so many people in so many places. So I want to give you some suggestions and ideas on what we can do to counter this feeling that's bringing so many people down. Hi, I'm Diane Hatz, the host of Hearth Talks. This is a space to explore authenticity and transformation, as well as to help myself and others discover purpose. So today I want to talk about ways we can help transform what's happening in the world. These are things that you can do in your daily life. Now, the universe, it's a combination of yin and yang, light and dark, positive and negative. I mean, I know that might sound silly to some people, but it's a fundamental scientific principle. It comes from the laws of conservation of charge, and it says that for every positive charge, there has to be a corresponding negative one. So according to physicists like Stephen Hawking, the total energy of the universe is zero, with positive energy from matter being canceled by the negative energy of gravity. So right now, it seems that we're leaning much further into the negative than we should be. So we need to rebalance ourselves by bringing in more positivity. At least this is what I believe. Basically, what I'm saying is you can't fight fire with fire. You can only banish darkness with light. And I'm going to give you examples soon. There are people who are getting this. I think that there's a collective understanding that we can't go out and do what's being done to us because that's what they want. The powers that be literally want us to fight back because it only makes them stronger and it gives them an excuse to crack down even harder and to control us even more. So, what can you do? There are two ways that I see we can counterbalance what's happening. There's collective and there's personal. I'm going to focus on what groups are doing collectively today, and then I'll do another video on what we can do ourselves personally in our everyday lives. And I'll link to that below here somewhere. Collectively, I have to say, I have been so inspired by the residents of areas where the National Guard has moved into. I mean, there's been a naked bike ride in Portland, Oregon, furries, people dressed up as animals, dancing outside detention centers, and people singing and dancing in the streets. I even heard about mothers knitting in protest. So the way we get balance back is to put out positive energy. Why do you think authoritarian governments are always so afraid of comedians? They tell the truth through humor. Look at what happened to Jimmy Kimmel and the backlash that happened when they tried to cancel him. If you're in a city, the National Guard is infiltrated, or you know where a detention center or an appropriate office is, like, a politician who is backing what's going on, why not organize some happy protests to draw attention to what's happening? Be satirical and funny, not angry and violent. I'm telling you, they want it. Anger feeds off anger. Fear feeds off fear. They're trying to seed that so they can control us. The way we fight back is through levity, satire, humor, and dance. So marches are great, but I think we need to update protests to the 21st century and we need more energy. So what about line dancing while singing Broadway show tunes? During the Black Lives Matter protests, John Batiste hosted a Dixieland brass band march in New York City. Everyone was encouraged to bring an instrument and play along with him. Thousands of people showed up and walked the streets of Manhattan. They were singing, they were dancing, they were playing music. It was so uplifting. So I did learn on that day that you need to be coordinated to play a tambourine that I thought was so easy. Oh, it was embarrassing. But collectively, people coming together and sharing in music is a great way to create internal change that will affect external things. So some other ideas that you could do to show your discontent: happy flash mobs. So one of my favorite songs in the world is Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. I prefer, or I should say I favor, the Jeff Buckley version. That's my favorite. But get a large group of people and go sing it and protest outside of some office monument, center somewhere. But that song is a heart opener. Like find songs that open people's hearts and go out, man, and give it your best. The bottom line is to have fun while making a statement. Keep your heart open. I'm going to say that over and over again. Another idea, hands across the darkness. So gather enough people that you could hold hands around a building of note, like an ICE office, a detention center, or a politician who you don't agree with their office. Sing something like the Fahudores, which is the Welcome Christmas from the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and then just update the lyrics. Another thing you can do is sing. In Portland, a group of people played YMCA and both sang and danced along to it outside an ICE facility or an ICE office. It was hysterical to watch. And then there were furries coming up, joining. Besides singing, dance. Why don't you put together some line dance routines to anything fun and uplifting and go dance in the street? Wear animal costumes or dress up as mimes or, think of your area and what is it known for and be creative. I'm taping this mid-October. Halloween is right around the corner. Christmas is coming too. I mean, there are a lot of creative things people can do. And I think it'd be great. Like put your town's personality in it. If you're known for a certain thing, try to incorporate that into what you're doing. Let them know that your town cares about its residents. So another thought I had was humans of your town or humans of your city. So have you ever heard of Humans of New York and Brandon Stanton? He's an amazing individual. I think he like didn't know what he was doing with his life. He sort of like was lost. So he started going out around New York and just taking photos of people. And he would write blurbs and put them on Instagram. I just checked. He has 12.8 million followers. So he's almost at 13 million followers. So he'll publish some photos, but he gets these stories from people and you really connect with them. He's raised tens of millions of dollars to help others. He has books he has put out now. He's also just taken over Grand Central Station with his portraits and portraits of that other photographers have taken. He's a very generous man. And I was just thinking the other day, why isn't there humans of Des Moines, humans of, New Orleans? Why not use that model to just get blurbs from people in your area so that your neighbors can get to know each other. It's much harder these days for people to get to know who each other are. It's a phenomenal a program that Brandon's starting. So I highly recommend check out Humans of New York. Why not clone it for your area? So I'm sure you can be creative and come up with other ideas. Like I mentioned, Portland had a naked bike ride. I gotta say, makes me want to move to Portland. Not just the naked but naked bike ride, but because they're coming up with really creative things. Another thing, there was a trend in New York a while back where people were knitting and they were wrapping trees, like putting sweaters on trees. So find 5 pillars or trees and, make 5 sweaters with one letter smile. Come up with creative ideas like to show that we know what's going on and that we're not going to sit down and just take it, but we're also not going to fight back. We're not going to feed in to what those deeply negative people want. If you do decide to organize something, can you make sure you film it and post it online? Use the hashtag One Kind Act and a hashtag Hearth Acts, ACTS. It'd be great to try to get things in one place where people can see there is a movement. And Jimmy Kimmel is doing this also. He just started the hashtag Show Me Your Hellhole. So if you want to film something, use that hashtag Show Me Your Hellhole, but also go onto Google or YouTube and just search that hashtag and you'll see videos that people are posting. Like, I love this one from this reverend. He's like, oh, it's hell here. Look at this little free library. People are not using the Dewey Decimal System. They're not even alphabetizing the books. Oh, it's, I don't want to say it's making light, but it's bringing some joy into an extremely, extremely depressing experience that we're all having. And I don't know if we can't laugh, if we can't bring joy into the darkness, then it's not going to go away. So please let me know what's going on in your area or what you decide to organize. We're all in this together. So let's find ways to bring joy and lightness back into our lives. So in my next video, I'm going to share some ideas I've had about what we can all do wherever we are at any point in time so we can bring more positive back into the world. If enough people start doing kind things for themselves and others that doesn't involve money or even time, we can bring the world back into the balance that we need. So until then, please like and subscribe if you are so moved, and get out there and dance. Thank you.